for Sales. Happy to see you all, and we're going to be talking about some awesome things today. So what we're going to be going over is TeleRehab, what it is, what's important, all those things, plus some great questions you all have submitted for us. So if you guys are not familiar with KORT, we're one of the biggest providers that are out there, especially in the state of Kentucky, for providing all sorts of wonderful rehabilitation services. We've got rehab at home and outreach for you guys. We've got obviously things in the clinic where we take all the precautions to make sure you guys are safe and healthy where you're getting your rehabilitation done. And of course, my personal favorite we're talking about, telerehabilitation. So telerehabilitation, what exactly is this? This is where we are coming to you. We're coming to you live through the computers. This is the wave of the future. This is something that everybody's had to do through the COVID crisis, and we've had to be innovative to figure out ways so that we can still do all the things that we need to help all the patients out at home. So, for things that you guys will need if you're going to be doing this, it's not very complicated. Do you have a computer? Well, yeah, everybody's got a computer right now. Do you have a smartphone? Yeah, of course you do. That's how you're watching me right now. So how you do this is you have either the computer and we just send you a link. Simple. And most modern computers already have a camera and their microphone set up. And fortunately for you guys, the system that we use makes it so the microphone and the video, it's already hooked up for a 1, 2, 3 done process. Now if you're using your phone because you've got some connectivity issues, no worries. We use a FaceTime if you've got an iPhone, or we use Google Duo if you've got an Android. Either of those ways are perfect so we can connect to you. Now, for some of the stuff that you're going to be needing at home, you don't need tons of equipment. A little bit is okay, but we can still do a ton with your own body because there's so many ways that we can actually go to help out for various diagnoses. And I've been doing this for a long time, literally for years and years, but just more concentrated recently because of how this COVID process has been playing out. And I've been seeing things from knee replacements, surgeries that were delayed because they couldn't get into different providers, like having something like a rotator cuff repair. And also, I've been seeing things like concussions. I've also been seeing tons and tons of tendinopathies. People who couldn't people who couldn't get the rehab that they needed because of just they couldn't get into the homes. And those are going to be the things that we'll talk a little bit further about right now. Even things like nerve pain, headaches, radiculopathies from their arms, legs, all those we can actually treat pretty well. So because I've been trained in different methods, I'm a McKinsey certified provider. I used to be on the board for the Kentucky Strength and Conditioning Association. All of those elements have allowed us within KORT to figure out how to help you guys at home with these types of conditions. So I'm going to bring Angie Moore over here for a second, and she's going to shout out some questions that you guys have actually said for us so we can answer your questions. So you guys should know, how do we do the telerehab at home, and how can we get this as a part of our lives? Because I know a lot of you guys are needing this right now. So Angie, what are some of the questions that we've had?
All right, how long is a telerehab appointment?
Great question. For all of our appointments in clinic and for telerehab, we schedule it for a full hour. 1 full hour of our time coming to you on your computer. So you can schedule it, making sure that your part of the day and our part of the day fits well. You don't have to do anything pretty fancy, just get some kind of flexible clothes on. And we're going to be spending that hour, just you and me together, so I can answer all the questions you have. Awesome. All right. What else do you have for me, Angie?
Do I need to download any software in order to get connected to you?
As long as you have some sort of internet service provider, whether it's Google Chrome, Firefox, something like that, that should be sufficient for if we're using your computer. But if you're using an iPhone, FaceTime already is on there. And for Android, a lot of people have Google Duo. That's my favorite system for us to be able to get a hold of you, and it doesn't cost anything. It's just part of what you're already using on your phone. All right. What else do you have, Angie?
How will I get manual therapy?
That's also a great question. In some cases, we will need some help from maybe a caregiver, maybe a family member, in which we can get it so that you can get somebody to have their hands be an extension of mine. This is a common thing that I've had to do with a knee replacement, for example, where some people need to get a little bit of pressure moving downwards and forwards. I am the one teaching that caregiver on how to do it while I'm watching, monitoring their symptoms, making sure they're doing it just right. And not only has this been helpful for those people to get the relief and getting their range of motion back, it makes it so that caregiver can do a little bit more if I'm not around to guide them. That way they get a little extra bonus and they don't have to wait for me to help them out that next day. It's been great for everybody, and of course it brings people closer together. All right, next question, Angie.
Does insurance cover TeleRehab?
Of course. Insurance from Medicare and Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, UHC, all these major providers, pretty much everybody that I see covers TeleRehab. So you don't have to worry about that having any major associated costs. It's the same as just going to your physical therapist.
What equipment would I need?
Well, generally, if you just have your own body, I can make things better for you. But sometimes we might need some sort of weight. Does it mean you have to go out and buy weights? No. If you have those reusable Kroger bags that we can get all the time, well, just stuff a couple of them together so they're a little bit thicker, put stuff in there, a sack of potatoes, you've got some weights. You have a backpack, put something in there with a book, 2 books. We can do a lot with that and it'll be just as good without any sort of worries. All right.
Can I also go to the clinic and do TeleRehab at the same time?
Well, that is a fantastic question. We have tons of people who start up and they're in a lot of pain and they want to get some more hands-on stuff. So we help them out with that. But then after they get to the point where they are feeling a little bit better, but they need to be built up with that strength, we actually prefer them because of how everything's working with the COVID crisis right now, that I can help them via TeleRehab so that we get the hands-on early on and then build them back up with the strength where I guide them on what to do. Because if you're at home and you are knowing what you're supposed to do to keep yourself strong, now all of a sudden, you don't have to go to a gym to get strong. You can get yourself strong at home, and every time you pass that chair, for example, that we've been doing exercises in, you're gonna be thinking, that's my workout station. And you'll actually get a lot of stuff done at home. And you'll get stronger long term, not just short term. Good question.
How do I schedule an appointment?
There's a lot of simple ways. You can go to KORT.com and you can talk to one of our people who are always online to help you guide that there. You can call the individual clinics up. And of course, if you've already seen one of our KORT therapists, you probably already remember your favorite one. Go ahead and see if you can email them or just call up that clinic and ask for them. We'll get you in as soon as possible because we're the same people. We remember everybody. And it's always good to see a familiar face.
That is all the questions I have at this time.
Okay. So for little tidbits, if you guys have any sort of tendonitis, tendinopathy issues, those are my favorite patients to be treating with TeleRehab because some of the best stuff that you can do for that is you can start to build up their strength and you've got to load it progressively in a manner that's controlled. And I'm coming to you almost like a personal trainer would be coming 2, 3, 1 times a week to make sure that we're taking care of you to get yourself better. Same thing if you've got some sort of radiculopathy. I can do all sorts of stuff for you from home very easily with different repeated motions. Look up the McKenzie system. It's great for this type of thing. All right.
I just received one more question.
Oh, wonderful.
If someone is recovering from COVID, how can you help with TeleRehab?
So this is a wonderful thing. So a lot of people after they've had COVID, they feel isolated because they can't go out. They don't want to get anybody else sick, or they're worried about potentially getting even worse because they're not doing well. Their immune system's still down. So if I'm coming to see them via TeleRehab, I'm going to be guiding them on what is necessary to get their lungs to move better again, to get their cardiovascular system moving better again. And of course, exercise is one of the best things for these populations in order for them to get back on their feet. And I'm not talking about running a marathon. Sometimes just specific breathing exercises to teach you how to do every single day. Simple things on just getting out of a chair a little bit differently are going to be the things that make it so you go from miserable to feeling comfortable and functional again. And that will make your life a lot better. Good question. All right. Anything else from me, Angie?
Not at this time.
All right. So we'll call it a day then. All right. So guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. We're at KORT for Sales. If you have any questions for us, feel free to log on to the Facebook page or our Instagram page, any of those, and we'll answer you in the best way that we possibly can. Or if you've got specific questions for me, you can reach out at KORT for Sales, and you can go to the website to find out all the information from there. I'm James Escaloni. Thank you again for hanging out with me.